We remain focused on consolidating these gains, deepening reforms, and building a more resilient, inclusive, and growth-oriented economy. According to the Finance Minister, Dr. Ato Forson, Ato is Forson.
I want to assure you as investors that the gains we have made so far are not cosmetics. They are gains that obviously were thought through and engraved in law.
Indeed, the IMF, more boy abaso yaje yesom yamene but yanemo ntwaso bio yanemo nkobio yanemo ahwie munya na Ghana fo afede yankase yemu economy ne hu say we can be better managers of the economy. IMF hails Ghana and warn Nigeria. Ghana edge funds from IMF but at the same time I'm the warning ama Bola Ahmed Tinubu say one here Nigeria cost of living no be worse a big disaster and see ye. But nimya Ghana edie sika we ho sika ofie sika o bank but IMF for no mutama fans I am pay because omo ye bra ye be ayo omo we leaders are omudie sika everywhere IMF in fact omo ye leaders ni kra na kabom omo ni mpefe se omo disika ni ma leaders na o meche di hede na anu ye omo di make no forata knowing very well say na wayire no ho manage economy na say na say poto omo we ya restrictions amode bae yen ana kan yensa kan anese fo omo ko school awie aboka kese e twen se be employment no na mo titifie since 2021 asije 40 fie alliance food science food health food titifie chese light bill ni water bill every 3 months bi na ekoso mi wa na keno for that ne bra na dan kwa kufa do da so enjoy o omo de mu fili ana ye bilidi ye na enye ne ko IMF enye yen ana Ghana sika ye de go to manho na $7 million enye ye but for whatever reason this IMF program ye ko ye de na kan say ye be manage economy ni kakra na ye free boni ni maba papa na no me ka say World Bank ese Ghana ye too na the current managers of the economy John Dramani Mahama on the finance minister Ato Forson and the Bank of Ghana governor Johnson Asiema omuni madwuma rough na anuachi ene Ato Forson any IMF for cycle share ya almost say what the World Bank can younger say tenase check here no say dey mu okay kaisa John Dramani Mahama announce say April ya ekona wie ya ye be free IMF mu o ma sha se ma fancy mu wie na nkrofo ya medada say extend program no na fuel ye pese electricity bill eko from water bill eko from omunti metre de yenye wo ye ma mu enti mu wie na ankoye reunion bia but this time around fans and omode ma ye almost your economy no from 50% 54% of inflation I've done here by 3.2% and that was the time as IMF na omoboa amanage economy ni area ma ye nti so mo hesa na ma na say inflation power from 54% to 3.2%. They be Ghana we good. Now I know Anna Finance Minister Ato Forson say the ogoshiomo and say mesi no obechirechire mu ade akire awo Daba Finance 2026 ekoso. Now osi say the bro no kire ne nu eto bas ne tie ne we yan chiche mu kakra kana me appeal so de amawo ono aso ekasa ye enti ubeti ono aso ne de woka de enti IMF prezi Ghana heli Ghana na Oma Nigeria for warning. I have just concluded an engagement with international investors on Ghana's economic outlook and reform program. I emphasize that the gains we are seeing are not cosmetic. There's a gain na yenya no. Said ye na kojo ponkroma any minority leader Alexander Fenyo Markets omugusu adebia Bank of Ghana governor sikana odishishem awe economy no as we artificial ye enche IMF na be kan bi say artificial ye hweye na enche ebe collapse but adrobi anka dem sa woboa anya no kure nti ene Ato Forson just or the your friends say na ntwe bi no egu omo say pam say mo fere I don't know how catch we say I have just concluded an engagement with international investors on Ghana's economic outlook and reform program. I've emphasized that the gains we are seeing are not cosmetic. They are the result of deliberate, well-sequenced reforms engraved in law, underpinned by strong policy discipline. We have taken difficult but necessary decisions, reducing the size of government, enforcing mandatory commitment controls, amending the PFM Act with new fiscal rules, and establishing the Fiscal Council and the Office of Value for Money to strengthen oversight and eliminate waste. To strengthen oversight and eliminate waste. What the $97 million project Ghana for say yempe National Cathedral na ebewie na adane manho na siwa ayenkwase waste sa ogaso west sky train na $2 million akodi obi nsem na waje atana so adi a waste Palugu dam $12 million waste so the number of waste that you hear out the previous administration was part of the reason why you didn't call IMF for the first place. The managers of the economy decided to shrink the economy, to destroy everything about the economy. And then you come from Fofro. It is hard to eliminate waste in the me papa. Ato Forson, keep on forcing what? We have also uncapped statutory funds to better align spending with national priorities, reformed petroleum revenue, and mining royalties to support infrastructure. And advanced reforms in tax administrations, VAT, customs, payroll, energy, and cocoa sector. These efforts are yielding results. Growth has exceeded expectations. Inflation is declining. The city has stabilized. And the city has stabilized. Our external position has strengthened. And reserve accumulation is ahead of program targets. Yields have declined and investor confidence is returning. And now a very necessary. Investor confidence anywhere akapreba. One edin isikeba be she maya or the amount for ka ente wokobusu ba ye wonyabi maya ono na economy no be inflation adwene akodu 54% ka preni amount for butum wo ba investors sa man nim entina amount for any interested so ma be invest in Ghana. But as I say inflation about 3.2%. CD na stabilize now policy rate cost strengthen no. Amak guy investors are always low. They say no this can be Ghana mu be ye benya returns back. Obi aso ye business open for so. In the glass friend say manufacturing factory friend say B5 plus omo the metal manufacturing company e dey aba ene yenya friend say pasta and Natalia companies in say be di wura mu ani. This tells you say investors omu confidence abba say some na odi we no your catch to and say one after the other investors express strong admiration for our recent agenda and the progress made in restoring stability and credibility. We remain focused on consolidating these gains, deepening reforms, and building a more resilient, inclusive, and growth-oriented economy. According to the Finance Minister, Dr. Ato Forson, Ato is Forson.
Now, how do we sustain the gains that we have made? I want to assure you as investors that the gains we have made so far are not cosmetics. They are gains that obviously were thought through and engraved in law. We've implemented a number of reforms, a number of an introduction of new laws. Let me, for example, state that when we took office, we reduced ministries and also ministers from 123 to 60 in 1 year, cutting the number of cabinet ministers by half. We've also introduced an amendment to a number of acts, mandatory commitment authorization through procurement, where you require commitment authorization to be able to procure. And this commitment authorization can only be granted through the Ministry of Finance when your budget will carefully be looked at. If you do not have the budget for, you can be assured that you will have the opportunity to procure anything beyond your budget. And this affects every sector of the economy. No one is spared. As long as you are covered under the Procurement Act, you have to comply. We also introduced an amendment to the PFM Act 1136, by introducing the 1.5% primary surplus in law and setting a debt ceiling of 45% of GDP. Establishing a fiscal council, which recently you are aware that the President announced the fiscal council, and we expect that they will begin their work anytime soon. We introduced a number of reforms on capping, for example, the statutory funds, and channeling these resources to government priorities, particularly decentralization. We are seeing a number of measures also around revenue administration, where in the past, past refund account was abused. Now we introduce a ceiling by reducing the amount going to the refund account from 6% to total revenue to 4%. We amended the Petroleum Revenue Management Act and strengthened what we can use petroleum resources for.
Indeed, the IMF, more boy abaso yaje, yesom, yamene, but yanemon twas bill. Yanemon cobio, yanemwe, Munyana Ghana for a fedie, Yankasi Yemu economy, you say, we can be better managers of the economy. Because if the same IMF, and an boy, am I managing the economy from 2022? Next Ghana, inflation 54%, a year and a hotel bar from crying 23%. Nasidi da so hang wiem ye na ba ko hwe wiem ba ko hwe a friend say asase ase 16 Ghana fuel ye toya ko do 16 cities 23 cities for diesel but I am for head so kan ye ho da omu kan ye ho so ye hwe but this time around with John Dramani Mahama promising Ghanaians say no obete ministers don't do Akufo Addo they know you shouldn't know say we dey do so and you or say obetimi the land government and make Ghana proud ampa and system ministers pe and say ministry bia ohia sika ni atam de amawo hey ubetire thesis question say be busa wan sana sika no saka no ubetire and what finance minister asa ko create the dear friend no a friend say value for money office na bibia wo de ube bia no this is yebusa ho questions ehwe say Ghana ye benya mfaso course no saying can we do without it or we must have it yebusa sa questions ni na right ansa na yadan sika ndi amount ene so gura ye besa be sure say be supervise and they say we the minister we friend saying senior government appointee you untimi nkodi sika basa sao. So this is to ensure say amount for ebedi sika aye Ghana sika awo kwampa so ebebo Ghana. So no wonder say IMF eheli Ghana your economy. Meanwhile at the same time we say alatayo Nigeria economy ninye the giant of Africa and then the laughing stock of Africa. Obi asiro was it the say konokra the trust say Nigeria for when Ghana when John Dramani Mahama say empire ebi mfama Nigeria say they will get their act together because afa na o repeat in Ghana pa and kai say do na e ba poverty friend say union ana mo join eti oba one by scamming oba be prostitution oba be kidnapping in Nigeria. Please get your act together what the next idea the cause of Nigeria ya sha say je fans kakra our IMF nsam yi ye beti ye ni no mu ase chawo ye beti no ma ye hamma se chaw ba je mpene sa adenti ana IMF afedi oboy abaso about the same IMF just some few months John Dramani Mama ebe fa akunya no as the president of the land. Now ye manage the economy near the gold board sika ebuama cedi no I stabilize omo ka kire say MYA in the long term ebe fall down aden at the same IMF and there was stand ano a obo Ghana baso ka kire me ebia na wode onim na me de binim awo comment section that say wo wie no subscribe like na share mo nua so enye bi ehwe edi no e ba ko maxi billion I will naked due to old burger trends. Macau, bye bye.